Hello Stampers, welcome back to my studio. This is Deb Valder and I always love having you stop by for some craftiness. And today we're going to do the multi-level stamping. It's going to be with the Grand Peony. It is absolutely gorgeous. Peonies can come in different colors, and today I'm going to show you just a couple of the colors that I've used. So this is my blue one. I did use the Matinee rectangle layer on all of these, and I love this little die, very universal. But you'll notice here that I cut it out in the two layers, and here what I did was I layered it so that each one of the corners right here was covered up. I love that about this. There's so many ways that you can use that. You can take and you can cut it out and use it as a frame. Just very, very versatile. I also, on the card that we're going to do today, use this Treasured Sentiments. It has some of the prettiest sayings in here. So that's where this one came from. And today I'm going to use just a different one from that same exact set. And on this one right here, I have used what I've been using a lot of. I call them typewriter sayings. And what they are just sayings that look like they came off of a typewriter. And in our shop, we have several of these. They come from many of the different manufacturers, but like I said, I absolutely love this. This is the one that I used on this one. It's got, it's big in little words. That's what it's called. So that's the one that I used right here. And here's another one right here. Like I said, there's many of these in here. I call them typewriter sayings just because they look like they've been typed out on a typewriter, and they're all the rage right now. So you might want to check into those over in the shop. Also, I have the Peony set that we're going to use, and remember, this is multi-level stamping, so we're going to need a couple of different color inks, and let's get started. So what I'm going to start with, obviously, is my MISTI. I love using the MISTI on multi-level stamping. It really lends itself to this type of stamping, along with other things too, but I just love using the MISTI on that. And then we're going to bring in the stamps that we're going to be using. So remember, there is an introductory video for this, for all of my multi-level stamping. So make sure you go out and look at the basics on kitchen sink stamps that I've done. So it's very important to show you how to mount your stamps so that you can put them on the colored sheet, and explaining what this little sheet is. I'm not going to go through all of that again because there is a basic video on that, and I want to make sure that you watch that. So let me bring back in the card that we're going to do today, or one very similar to that. So this is the one we're going to work on. I'm going to keep it right here close handy so that you can, I'll refer back to it every now and then. I always take a piece of paper that is a little bit bigger than what I want to use, and then cut it down afterwards. All right, so let's grab our stamps, and that is these right here. So what I'm doing is just peeling off the back layer sheet right here. All right, so that, and always remember that when you do that, the picture is underneath, okay, and the textured side is up, and that's the side that you want to make sure that is down when you are stamping. All right, so ready? We will get started. I always keep my little cheat sheet right up here, and that is worth its weight in gold, I'm going to tell you right now. So we're going to start backwards, and if you watch some of my videos, you'll understand what I mean by that. So instead of going stamp 1, 2, 3, and or 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. For me, I've just had better results doing it that way. And what you're doing is literally using the detail first. So on my card right here, believe it or not, this is navy blue, this darker part right here. And on the rose that I did a while ago, you'll notice that I did the blue also. It's a little bit more subtle than black, but I wanted it to be very pronounced. All right, so I'm going to start with my navy blue ink. I'm starting with my back piece first. Okay, and remember, what I use is my little Wow ink to begin with, so that it's not as sticky. And let's get going. Here's my navy ink. And making sure all my screen here is nice and clean. right, so there is step 5. All right, now what we're going to do is to clean this off and go to step 4. And on your sheet, they're all numbered for you. So if you look at this, okay, I just did step 5. We're going to go to step 4 next. And we're going to line it up. So what I like to line up are the these little outlines right here. I also watch what they line things up with, and between the two of them, I can do pretty darn good. All right. So what I'm looking for right now is that piece right here, making sure that's lined up, making sure that everything else. Just building this is amazing. All right, so I think I'm doing pretty good right there. I'm going to take and just touch that because it's still sticky. All right, making sure it's nice and even on my MISTI. I'm going to take my darkest of the pinks. And I used these just before this, so I didn't use the Wow ink on that one. I'll clean it right away. But you're going to see how this is going to start to build and really, really, really make it look so pretty. I know it looks kind of wonky right now, but it just comes out so very, very pretty. And I definitely should have used my Wow ink on this one beforehand. So I'm going to take and clean it. There we go. You see how that cleans right up nicely? And then when I go to re-ink my stamp, my Wow ink, it will disappear off of the pad. All right, so that's number 4. Now, if I was doing the card like this, okay, this one right here, what I did was I took this, I turned it around, and I did it again. And then I did the next step and I turned it around and I did it again. So what I did was I did both of them in the exact same position. I just kept turning it around. All right, so there's that one. All right, now we're going to go to the next step, and that is 3. So we're going for 5, 4, 3. Let's find number 3. Alrighty, and here we go. We just want to make sure that it's all lined up. Okay. Right there in the corner, good. And we're going to go with color number 3. Now you're going to see this starting to build. Right now it looks a little wonky, but you'll see all of the pieces fill in. And like I said, you can do it the other way. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm finding more success by going backwards. And I'm pretty sure that's why they do it backwards here. But I just love to see it just come alive. You see, every step brings a little bit more of the piece together. And I did it again. I did it without putting my Wow ink on here because I'm talking too much. So let's just clean this one off. There we go. See how nice and clean it gets? Ta-da! Alrighty. I like showing you some of my mistakes because then you know how to fix them. All right, so now we're going to number 2. Okay, let's make sure that doesn't move. I'm actually going to move this over because I'm getting a little close right there. Alrighty, let's line this up. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it right, see where that is right there? And then over here, I'm lining up this piece right here, just making sure all of these pieces go nicely. Alrighty. And grab our Wow ink this time. And this one is number 2. Beautiful. All right, now clean it off. I just get so excited because it just comes together so pretty. And then we're going to do number 1. Okay. And that just basically outlines the whole thing. All right, and we're going to do that with our lightest of pinks. And this one sometimes I do more than once, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's see how it covers. If I see any spots that I think oh my goodness, look at how pretty that is. It's just so pretty. I am going to do it one more time just to make sure. This is the layer that you want to be absolutely totally covered. All right, look at how pretty that is. So with this card right here, when it dries, it's going to just bring out even more of the beautiful color to it. I just love it. All right, so now this is how fast this card is. You know, people look at it and they think, oh my goodness, you know, it's going to take me forever because I've got to reposition the stamps and do this. No, absolutely not. I'm going to tell you right now that this is such fast stamping and so absolutely gorgeous. But again, you have to figure out whether you like doing it 1 to 5 or 5 to 1, and just kind of play with it a little bit. And that's just the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. Now what I'm going to do is to put on my words. And from this, I'm going to use the set that I showed you earlier. It is the Treasured, where is it? Here we go. The Treasured Sentiment. So I'm going to use this one right here, Thinking of You, because I have a friend that I need to send this to. So I'm just going to take and line this up just like this. And I always test it out, and that's what I love about, I just cut up used one of these used little grid sheets, and I like doing it that way because then I can line up and make sure that it's going to be straight and make any adjustments before I stamp. All right, so let me just take, and I'm going to stamp this in the navy. No, I think I'll do it in the black because I'm using a black layering sheet. Just see if that's straight. And why I like using the grid sheets is because that you can tell. Yep, perfect. You can just kind of tell. There's nothing worse than getting your card all done and then having your sentiment crooked. Now remember that I am going to trim this down. I just want to make sure I have enough room to actually trim it down. Yep. So now I'm just going to take my ink and ink it up. And with my words, I do usually do it a couple of times. Beautiness. I think my my ink pad needs to be re-inked, and with our combo and our Teaspoon of Fun ink, it does come with a re-inker, so not to worry about that. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I just love it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is to grab my cover sheet here and put that on here. Okay, so now my stamps are all set and ready to go for the next one. Let me clean off this little guy right here. we are ready to start layering our card. That's how fast this card is. I'll leave that on there for now. It's like I said, the multi-level stamping is such a fast and fantastic way to stamp and get your cards done quickly. And if you're making a whole lot of them, you can do that also. So let me bring in my die cuts here, because what I think I'm going to do with this one, let me just show you. And I always cut out the middle if I can, and save them for another card. So these are ones that I cut out and I'm going to use for another card. But let me just bring in my layering pieces here. All right, so for this one right here, I'm thinking I'm going to cut this out like I did, not like this one, okay? It's going to be more like this one right here, or should I just trim it down? I do like this a lot, where I just layered it on top. So I think that's what I'll do. So let me bring in my cutter and just trim it down. And that's where you can kind of decide where you want it to be trimmed. I'd like to get close to, but not cut off a whole lot of the flower. Okay. And I'm going to cut it down to 5 by 3 3/4. So I'll cut a little bit off there and go up to 5 by 3 3/4. Alrighty. So I don't need that one. And for this one, I think I already cut one out. Let me just check and see. So this is where I'm saying that I could actually just do it right on here like that, but then I'm wasting all of this paper. So what I did was I put my die on here, I cut it out, and then I saved it in my envelope so that I could use it for another card. So that's the way I did this one. I just had one of these, I cut out the middle, and we're good to go. And then when I put this all together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up these corners with that corner right there and right there. Like I said, this Matinee die is one of my very, very favorites because there's so many different ways that you can use it. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. All right, but before we do that, we have one more thing to do, and then that's going to get layered onto here. So the other thing that I need to do is to grab a sheet of scrap paper here, and we're going to, actually not my scrap paper, my Make Art station here, and I'm just going to take and start doing some of my burnishing. And I'm going to do that with my mustard seed distressed oxide ink and one of my best brushes ever. All right, and we're just going to burnish in some color. So I'm going to start over here on the corner and then just lighten up as I go around and into the center. And this is just going to make your little flower pop. All right, so I'm just going to have the darkest over here on the edges and then just lighten it up as we go into the center. And that's what's the beauty of the distressed oxide ink. It just brings in such vibrant color, but it just burnishes so very nicely. And I do like to leave a little bit of white around the flower so that makes it a pop also. And we're going to do the same thing down here. Just burnish a little bit. And you'll notice I didn't put any of the leaves on this either. There we go. See, it's a little bit different, but it's just so pretty. Very, very nice. All right, so let's put this back on here like that, and we can start our layering. Let's just clean this off first. And actually, this is even better cleaned up with just a wipe because distressed oxide inks are, they react to water. See how easy that is? So cool. All right. All right, we're ready to put this little guy away and start layering our card. That's how fast this card is. So I'm going to bring in all my pieces here and my base to the card and this right here. So I'm going to just add, whoops, let's make sure I got the card, not a layer. There we go. Okay, 1, 2. All right, add this to it, making sure I got the right side up. And when you're cutting this out of the middle, as you can tell, it doesn't matter if it's straight or not, because it's all going to be covered up. And that's what I love about that is you don't have to be perfect with it. And I'm going to do one down the middle and add this like this. And like I said, all I do is line up my corners, corner to corner. There we go. Flip it over. And there is our card. Isn't that so very, very pretty? Oh my gosh, and look at how fast it was. Fast, 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 fast stamping. Fast stamping. I love it. So I hope you enjoyed my post for today. I just love doing this multi-level stamping. It is so much fun. If you liked our video, make sure you subscribe to them. Click on the little bell and you'll get a notification every time we do a new one. Hit the thumbs up button and share this with your friends. Thank you for stopping by. You take care and have a great day.